This is the Psychos final project by Caroline, Madison, Veronica, Victoria, and Ivan. Our research question is, how does social media affect adolescent mental health? Before we began to research this topic, our hypothesis was, if adolescents spend more time on social media, then there will be negative consequences for their mental health. In a 2018 study, researchers took a sample of male and female adolescents and investigated the association between time spent on highly visualized social media, also called HVSM, and body image concerns and internalizing symptoms. Researchers found that the use of HVSM, such as Instagram and Snapchat, could favor the development of negative internalizing symptoms due to these social media platforms mainly focusing on user-generated visual content, such as images and short videos, allowing the use of filters to modify and improve users' looks before uploading, and resulted in increased opportunity for comparison of idealized body images posted by other users that they follow. This manipulation of images on social media can lead to constant comparison and a highly idealized version of themselves, which is really important because body image is a central feature in adolescent self-concept due to many sociocultural influences and socialization. Another study done in 2017 researched the effects of parental monitoring of social media on mental health. An interesting takeaway from this study was that parents and children self-reported different results. Parents reported that they thought monitoring social media accounts helped their child, but children reported no difference in feelings, such as FOMO, anxiety, or depression. The results suggested that even though parents in this study reported monitoring one or more of their child's social media accounts, it did not prevent them from any of the negative internalizing symptoms.
FOMO, or fear of missing out, is a relatively new phenomenon in the social media age. It is the fear of not knowing what your peers are up to, or fear of missing out on the fun. FOMO, combined with social media use, can have negative impacts on sleeping patterns and mental health as a whole. If you experience feelings of FOMO, you are likely to be on social media platforms late at night to see what your peers are up to. Late night social media use results in late night cognitive arousal, which makes it more difficult to fall asleep and stay asleep. Avoiding social media use prior to bedtime has been shown to decrease feelings of FOMO and promote better sleeping habits. In this age of technology and social media, there has also been an increase in reports of feelings of anxiety and depression among millennials and Gen Zs. Problematic social media use has been found to have a positive correlation with poor sleeping habits and increasing the risk of feeling symptoms of depression. Problematic social media use comes in many forms, but social sharing apps such as Instagram promote social comparison. Whether comparing yourself to someone you think is better than you or someone you think is beneath you, it is all bad for mental health. Limiting social media use has been shown to decrease feelings of loneliness and depression.
However, one empirical study that we reviewed found that emotional investment in social media no longer correlated to poorer sleep quality once anxiety, depression, and self-esteem factors were involved. What does this mean? It means that most likely feelings of distress and isolation when apart from social media have a lot more to do with emotional investment in social media compared to the effects of sleep. In addition to this, it is possible that self-esteem levels may be more vulnerable to upward social comparisons and negative feedback through social media. However, another study that we reviewed analyzed depressed adolescents and their social media habits. In particular, the authors identified positive social media experiences for these individuals, which usually involve finding social support and acceptance from other adolescents with depression, and negative experiences, which usually involve comparing themselves with others and having difficulty abstaining from social media use. Mood was also an important factor to consider here. Many of the depressed teens admitted to posting differently when in different moods. In some instances, they might post differently when they are stressed, overshare information when they are feeling needy or looking for attention, or post angry things when triggered by something that they see on social media. All of these insights are important for clinicians to know going forward so that they can properly guide teens with depression. Another study
In 2019, there was a study done that found there is a moderate relationship between depressive symptoms and social media use. They ultimately found that girls were more likely to use social media and also more likely to have depressive symptoms than boys. They also found that depressive symptoms increased as social media time increased. This study also explains some ways to minimize adolescents' time on social media. First, you could put adolescents in sports or after school activities because this will shorten the time they have to be on social media since they will be actively busy. Second, parents and teachers should overlook peer relationships because they have found adolescents with peer problems are more likely to use social media. And lastly, adolescents should have less unsupervised free time because the more free time they have, the more time they will spend on social media. And all of this is important tips that parents can use to help shorten their adolescent social media use because there's evidence to prove the moderate relationship between the time they use and their mental health.
The last article we read was about the involvement of stress with social media. Stress has been linked with the amount of social media someone uses. Negative emotions are also strongly correlated with the use of social media and social media platforms. Finally, exploration refers to adolescents' directed pursuits aimed at extending their knowledge of a particular interest and topic. Social media exploration can also lead teens to individuals who use social media platforms to spread messages of negativity and discouragement that leads to stress. Exploration is often the backbone of teens' daily social media experiences, which can lead to harmful content and envy. Many adolescents express feelings of envy and harassment when engaging in social media use, which negatively affects their mental and physical health. The last article we read